Politics is an amazing beast, and we all have love-hate relationship with it. But regardless of your feelings towards politics, political parties or political leaders, we are all impacted by government decisions which have a profound impact on our lives and most certainly on our financial outcomes. So, as much as maybe it might not interest you or you disagree with the proposed changes, you need to stay alert, aware, and analyze what is your benefit, if any, how the change will impact you, and what can be done to improve your financial outcomes for you, for your family, and for your financial future. And today we are discussing one of such topics: Labour's proposal of new personal income tax cuts for 2024-25 financial year. My name is Katherine Isbrandt from About Retirement. I'm certified financial planner and you are watching About Retirement TV, the place that I created for all Australians who are slowly preparing for retirement or those who have already retired and would like to improve their financial outcomes. So today we are discussing tax cuts that Labor has just introduced that differ to those already legislated in stage 3 tax cuts. If you are not sure why I am referring to this as stage 3, you can view my previous videos. It started with 4 tax benefits from Federal Budget 2020 and then Federal Budget 2020-21 for pre and post retirement, and then the next video followed with Federal Budget 2022. The last 2 videos mentioned explain the stage 3 tax cuts as per original and already legislated changes that are due to be introduced on 1st July 2024. But now, surprisingly, Labor came up with a new proposal of their own tax cuts, and the opposition is furious, saying that Prime Minister is breaking his electoral promise of not making any changes to those legislated new tax rules. Labor, however, says that due to high inflation and increase in cost of living, they want to introduce a better version of tax cuts whereby majority of Australian taxpayers will benefit, and that is the plan for Middle Australia. So let's put those figures into the test, and then you can see and be a judge if new recommended rates are better than those originally introduced and legislated, and by how much. This is the table of tax cuts already legislated. This is the table of new recommended tax cuts. So, at first glance, do you think you will be better off with those already legislated or those just recommended by Labor? Let's check few examples to put this into perspective. If you earn an income of $45,000 per annum gross, based on legislated tax rates, the first $18,200 is tax-free. The balance above will be taxed at 19%. Therefore, tax payable is $5,092. Under the new Labor proposal, the tax-free threshold is unchanged. However, the balance above $18,200 is to be taxed at 16% rather than 19%. Therefore, now the tax payable is $4,288, providing a tax savings of $804 per annum. You might say this is good, more money in my pocket, but let's check what happens to higher incomes. If your income is $70,000, your tax savings under new tax cuts is also $804. If you earn $120,000, your tax savings under new tax cuts is also $804. With the income of $250,000, you actually will be $4,546 worse off under new tax cuts. Generally, what Labour has done is reduce the tax rate for those earnings up to $45,000 from 19% down to 16%. In comparison to the original and legislated plan as per my table, this is a saving of $804. Therefore, exactly the same level of savings continues to all incomes up to earnings of $135,000. Then Labour wants to keep 37% tax rate for incomes above 135 up to 190 with 45% tax rate above. In comparison, the legislated system was providing 30% tax rate for all up to an income of $200,000 with 45% payable above that level. Considering that we are talking about $804 saved as a maximum for all earnings up to $135,000, is this really a tax saving worth talking about? I'm not criticizing any tax savings. We all love to save on tax bill, but I am just shocked how really insignificant those tax cuts are in comparison to their legislated tax rates. And I am questioning what cost was spent by the government to come up with this proposal. Prime Minister calls this a fair and beneficial tax cuts for most Australians. Interesting fact, the median income in Australia is $59,000. The average income in Australia is $79,000. And 80% of Australians earn less than $110,000 per annum. Therefore, 80% of Australians will save $804 per annum under this new proposed tax cuts. But I don't think this will really help a great deal with the rising cost of living and high inflation. And this is exactly how this budget is being advertised. But if you are only working part-time on $20,000, where exactly is your savings? Well, measly $54. I keep saying if our government really cared about people on low and middle incomes, it is really easily done. We need an increase of the tax-free threshold. That would assist everyone on low incomes and middle incomes. After all, we had no change of tax-free threshold since 1st July 2012. That is 14 years of the same threshold. What's worse, the small assistance that existed in the form of the low and middle income tax offset was removed in 2022-23 financial year. So where is that assistance for middle Australia? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below this video. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you think this was informative. Also, please visit my website about retirement.com.au to learn more about retirement planning. You will find over 150 articles and videos worth reading and listening to. And while on my website, don't forget to sign up to my newsletter to be kept updated with all the changes that can impact your retirement. If you believe you could benefit from a good financial advice and a solid financial or retirement plan, book a meeting with me through my website. On each page there is a button, Book a Meeting, which will take you to my calendar where you can choose the day and time for us to meet. And now go back to view one of those previously mentioned videos. Federal Budget 2022 that explains stage 3 of tax cuts. And then you can watch how to invest $1 million for the best retirement. There are some questions that you might not have thought of prior to making your investment decisions. I will speak with you in my next video. Bye for now.